Well, good morning, everyone. This is Bill DiPertoro, with the sponsor and ambassador for KNOW, KrystalCoastNC.com, which is a hyper-local website. We have news and events from all over the county, and we interview leaders in the county as well as business owners, and they can go there and be known, and we try to do this to help people get to know each other and to shop locally. I'm here today with Thomas Kies, the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce here. And so welcome, Thomas.
Thanks, Bill.
Great to be with you.
Good to be here.
Before moving to North Carolina, Thomas worked in the newspaper and magazine business in New York and also in New England for over 30 years. He currently lives on Bogue Banks Island, which is where Atlantic Beach and Pinole Shores and Emerald Isle are, and with his wife and his Shih Tzu Lily. He has 3 children and 4 grandchildren. And Thomas is currently working is under contract anyway to write a 4th book in the Geneva Chase Mystery Series. So go check out the Geneva Chase Mystery Series and keep your eye out for the 4th book in the series. Welcome, Thomas.
Hey, Bill.
Thanks for sharing a few moments with us. So let me start with, how or why did you become interested in being an author?
Well, I've always liked telling stories. Ever since I was a small kid, I wanted to write books and novels. I was an avid reader, and of course, working for a newspaper, every last one of us wants to write the great American novel.
Right.
And I just happened to be one of the ones that wrote a novel, not necessarily the great American novel, but it was a nice mystery.
But it's a series, yeah. That's a mystery.
Yep, and
Hold it up a little longer.
I've written 3 of them now, and under contract to do a 4th, and I'm
Great.
working on a standalone.
That's terrific. That's great. Just on a little aside, did you get out of the print business because the print business is sort of dying, or?
Well, yeah, it was very stressful to begin with, and with the advent of the internet, it's 24/7 kind of a thing where you're rushing so fast to try to get the news out that for me, when I first started the business, it was a lot of fun. I had a great time, but it just stopped being fun.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, it's always competition between companies to try to be the first one out with the news, and so that's hard when it's a 24/7 cycle.
Yeah, and you want to get it right, and if you're working that fast, you've all seen it, where a news story goes up online and it just doesn't have all the details,
Right.
or it might be incorrect. So.
Jump to conclusions.
Yeah, and every journalist wants to get it right. Nobody wants to get a story wrong, but it's just almost impossible to do a really good job now.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of people keeping an eye on people and Twitter accounts and all that kind of stuff.
There's no privacy left, Bill.
Well, tell us about your latest book.
Latest book is Graveyard Bay. It's another Geneva Chase novel. It's a mystery. Takes place on the Gold Coast of Connecticut, and the protagonist is Geneva Chase. Geneva Chase is a female reporter who drinks too much. She makes bad life decisions, but she's very, very bright. She's good at her job, and she gets to say things that I can't. She's a snarky smartass.
So you get to live vicariously through her?
Well, I do live vicariously through her. She's a fascinating character, and because I wasn't going to start out writing as a female, it just happened to take that way, and my publisher absolutely loves Geneva. My editor does, my agent, and my wife, and apparently the readers do.
Well, great.
So,
So can you give us a little bit of what the latest book is kind of about?
yeah, it starts out actually in a marina, very much like the boathouse in Beaufort.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of winter, and it's at a place called Groward Bay, but it was nicknamed Graveyard Bay during the Revolutionary War during a major battle. And 2 bodies are found chained to the prongs of this huge forklift that's used to take boats out of the water and put them back into the water. And one of the bodies belongs to a corrupt judge, and the other one's a Jane Doe.
No kidding.
So that's how the story starts, and then of course Geneva gets caught up in a gang war between the Aryan Brotherhood and Russian mobsters.
Really?
So it's,
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster ride.
So is there any kind of a big picture to be gleaned from that book, or what?
Graveyard Bay, not so much. Graveyard Bay, I just try to tell a really good story.
Yeah,
I
sounds
want to
interesting.
give people a good time. And now, but Random Road started out with a big picture, and that was basically Random Road is kind of a romance that's driven forward by the mystery itself. There are 6 people who are found dead on an island, but it's also a love story, and part of it is, do things happen for a reason, or is everything just random? And that was my big picture in Random Road.
Yeah, boy, that's the question of the ages, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Do you come up with a conclusion?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, do you have any more books waiting to be written?
In addition to the one that I'm under contract for, and right now it's tentatively called Shadow Hill. That's going to be a mystery thriller with some politics involved, and big corporations, and we're going to be talking a bit about climate change.
Uh-huh.
So I think there's a pretty good mix there. And I'm also working on something my publisher doesn't even know about yet, and that is that will take place on an island, very much like Banks Island here in Carteret County, during a hurricane.
Oh, wow. I know what that's like.
When you're cut off, you can't get on the island, you can't get off the island, and bodies start showing up. I figure that's got some promise to it.
It'll certainly sell around here after the storms we've been through lately.
Right.
Let's see. When do you find time to write? When do you actually enjoy writing?
Well, mostly weekends.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, that's about all I do now. And my wife doesn't even ask me to do the gardening anymore. And in the evenings, I will do some writing. So that's about all I got, because I've got a day job.
Yeah, really. So you're going to be here for a while longer, I hope?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a while before I retire.
Well, tell us a little bit more about the Chamber while we're here.
Chamber of Commerce, we've got about 1,000 members. We're very active for a rural area like Carteret County. The Chamber of Commerce has about 15 business after hours networking events. We've got innumerable ribbon cuttings, especially after the storms that we've had over the last couple of years.
Yeah, a lot of business had to get fixed.
We work with a lot of small businesses. Primarily our businesses are all small. And we have our Leadership Carteret class that's going to be beginning next week. It's a 10-week course. All the up-and-coming corporate leaders are generally going through our leadership class, and it's one of our better programs.
It's out where you're out in the community being told about all the history of the area.
We go behind the scenes at places like Cherry Point Marine Air Base and the Coast Guard, and behind the scenes at the aquarium. And we have leaders, actually corporate and military leaders, that come in and speak to the group every one of the 10 classes that we have.
Great. Anything else you'd like to add?
You know, I'm extremely happy to be in Carteret County. Being the head of the Chamber of Commerce here is a wonderful gig. The people are wonderful to work with, and I can't say enough nice things about it.
Want to give how to reach you in case, or how to reach the Chamber, just in case somebody's moving this way, has a business?
You can just go to our website, www.nccoastchamber.com, and that will have all of our phone numbers and all of our email addresses, and we'll explain what it is we do.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, Tom. Great talking to you.
Thanks,
Best
Bill.
of luck with the book series.
Thanks a lot.